Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land, and welcome to DC Fans United. So today I am taking a look at Countdown to Final Crisis number 5. So this is part of a series of reviews. I actually started at issue number 51, and I've been counting down all the way to issue number 1. And I'm up to issue number 5 now, so it's been a very long process. And if you'd like to check out my previous reviews, you can do so with the link in the description box. It's got all 46 issues I've reviewed up to this point. So this issue picks up right where the last issue left off, which is kind of a good thing, but overall this issue to me was extremely disappointing. But we'll go ahead and get into that here in a moment. So first off, we're going to take a look at the writers. Paul Dini was the head writer along with Adam Beechin. Keith Giffen was the story consultant. Now Jim Starlin did the art on this issue, so we actually had a very good artist. So that's always nice when you have a good interior artist, but something about this issue, I kind of think that Jim Starlin wasn't feeling it, and I'll get into why, but some things about his art in this aren't nearly as good as he usually is. It's kind of strange. So aside from him, we have Rodney Ramos on the inks. Pete Pantazes does the coloring. So they've both done inks and colors on a lot of these issues, and they do a stellar job as always. Travis Lanham is again on the letterers, and we have a Scott Collins cover. So the cover is really good. It's probably the best thing about the issue. I'm sad to say. It's a Scott Collins cover. He's a great artist. You just get this apocalyptic scene. It's very reminiscent of what is happening in the comic at this point. And, it's a Statue of Liberty and it's burning. It's a little generic, I guess, but it is very telling of what's going on. So we'll go ahead and get into the issue itself. It picks up right very much at the end of where the last issue left off. And unlike most issues of Countdown, it doesn't jump around from character to character. It sticks with these two the whole way through. So what we have here is Buddy Blank and Una, who, if you're a Legion of Superheroes fan, you know her as Triplicate Girl. In this storyline, she's merged from 3 into 1. She's always 1, so now they call her Una. Anyways, Buddy Blank and her are just running through the chaos. You definitely want to read the back issues if you haven't, or see my previous reviews, but basically Karate Kid has this virus from the future, and he brought it to this Earth, and it's spreading and killing everybody and causing them to mutate. If they touch any sort of animal, they mutate into that animal, essentially. So then you see them running, and it's just chaos and everything. And right away, this is only the second page, and I don't know, this Jim Starlin's a really good artist. And if you look at Una, she looks kind of strange, I don't know, just the way she kind of is bent in the middle. And even Buddy Blank, the way he's running is a little strange. And then just everyone is dead. There's no other people standing around or anything. I don't know. It's just kind of a weird scene, and the whole comic is like that. A lot of the things are very stiff, the way the people move, and it's just not really what I would expect from Jim Starlin. Another thing that's weird, and we see on the very next page, I'm a fan of cheesecake, I'll admit it. I like the sexy ladies in comics as much as the next guy, but the way it's done in this is kind of just crude and not even enjoyable. So in the second panel here, you see a big shot of Una's backside, and I don't know, it's just not even really sexy the way it's done. I think it's honestly because her head is cut off in the panel. I kind of don't like that. And there's a few more examples of this. I probably wouldn't have pointed it out if it was just the one, but this happens a few times throughout the issue with different female characters. So to me, I don't know, it's not sexy, it's just weird. So anyways, they are in the streets fighting various people who have mutated, and they're trying to get to Buddy Blank's daughter's apartment. So they're just running through the streets. There is some, this page actually is really good. You just see the Justice League fighting and trying to handle the situation. Superman has mutated with a lion, so this is actually, and again, this is an example of what I'm talking about. You see Wonder Woman, you don't see her face, you just see her butt. I don't normally point that kind of thing out, and I do think that people who are against, sexy women in comic art and stuff, that is wrong. I think they should be able to be in that and dress that way and all that, but to me, this is just kind of crude and unnecessary, right? If you could see her face, it would be a lot better. So anyways, though, the one good thing about it is she's lassoing Superman, and he is merged with a lion, which, if I know there's an Action Comics issue or a Superman issue, a very old one, where he has a lion head. So I know that's a reference to that, and if I took the time to dig it out, I could find the issue. But in any case, that's what that's a reference to. And then we see the superheroes and the supervillains are just, it's degenerating for everybody. But overall, nothing too terrible has happened in this issue yet. And you're wondering, why is it such a bad issue? Well, we're going to get to that. There's a couple of pages that go by. Buddy Blank and Una do get to the apartment. And while they're there, they find Buddy Blank's grandson, but not his daughter. Apparently she has died, which is kind of a downer. And then they get attacked by the boy's dog, which is mutated and partially human, and it lunges at him with a knife. You get yet another weird panel. And this is almost the entire panel here of just Una's backside and her whole upper body cut off. So very strange. And then she kicks the dog with a very stiff, kind of unnatural looking kick. And then we're getting up to the part of this comic that I despise and basically ruined it for me. Una, a superhero from the future, a Legion of Superheroes member, she's very, very good at fighting and everything else. She gets taken down by these rats. They're like little rat people, I guess, and they just mob her and tear her to bits. It's really awful. She does manage to get onto the roof, but she's still getting mauled by them. And this is the most horrible part about it. Buddy Blank takes her flight ring from her hand and flies away and just leaves her. And you see that she's dead. Like, she got killed by a bunch of rats. And Buddy Blank, who's supposed to care about her, just took her flight ring and flew off. So pretty much at that point, I was just like, screw this comic. There's a few more pages. Basically, the surviving superheroes are trying to figure out what to do. There's nukes going off on the various cities, and it's just a mess. Pretty much just a mess all around. And then at the very end, Buddy Blank finds some kind of a spaceship and flies away. So he wasn't even introduced to this series until like the last issue or the issue before. So why he's taking center stage, I don't know, especially when there's only 4 issues left. But there is a little bonus at the end. It's the origin of Mr. Freeze. Not that he was in this issue as far as I remember, but there you have it, a little bonus at the end. So really, I know a lot of people have been really critical of Countdown, and I didn't really understand that. It definitely has its flaws, especially with pacing and jumping around a lot, but I didn't feel that it was a downright terrible series until I got to this issue. So this issue is kind of the worst one I've read so far, I think, and yeah, there's just not much good to say about it. So a bit of a downer. I'm gonna go ahead and finish out the series. I'll review issue 4. Who knows, maybe Una miraculously survives somehow, but Buddy Blank is pretty much a coward in my mind for stealing her flight ring and leaving her to die. Like, why couldn't they all fly? That's really stupid. But that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Be sure to hit the bell for notifications. Oh, as a side note, I'm thinking of reviewing DC New Talent Showcase 2018 next. I've got a floppy of that, and I've been reading it. It's really good, so I'll do that next, I think, and have a more positive review. But that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Be sure to hit the bell for notifications. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't. And as always, thank you for watching and being a part of DC Fans United.
End of line.